Hello, everyone. Come on in. Come on in. We are back. It's Tuesday, and we have a word of encouragement. So go ahead, like, comment, and share, and just come on in. I hope you are doing well, and maybe this is what you need. So tune in. I'm still reading in Genesis, so I'm going to speak on that again. I started reading through the Bible in December, and I read through Proverbs, which was amazing. But right now I'm reading through Genesis, and there's a lot of good in there to just walk in your faith journey. And so tonight we're going to focus on Genesis 37, and I'm going to read out of, I'm going to read verses 4 and 5, and then I'm going to skip down to 9. When his brethren, and this is talking about Joseph, and when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peaceably unto him. And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told his brethren, and they hated him yet the more. And then in verse 9 it says, and he dreamed yet another dream. And so when you read through that, you know that his first dream had the same storyline as the second dream, and so they complemented each other. And Joseph was only 17 years old at the time that this was happening. And so I just want to touch especially on the fact that Joseph had these dreams and that he was hated by his brothers. And so much so that he just was not on their good side. And so they, ended up casting him into the pit and sold him. And I just think that had to be a very deep-seated hate and dislike to come up with a plan like that. And so, he had these dreams, and now this was happening. So what? When we have dreams, we can lose focus or lose heart because our circumstances look so different. And we can read that it took many years, and it took some tests, and he was also in isolation. He was away from his family, everything that he knew, and until those dreams came to pass. And so he had, I think, from 17 to age of 30 was when he was put into position to gather the harvest for the famine. And so in that time, what I just want to kind of touch here is in that time of him being alone in a land far away, he lived in such a way that people saw that God was with him. They saw that the Spirit of God was with him. I think it was Pharaoh that said, is there anyone else that the Spirit of God is with him? And, just before he decided to put him in position to take care of the harvest. And so that is so amazing to me that at the age of 17, that happened to him. Such a tremendous, tragic happening. And he was able to be faithful to God. And for a long period of time, years and years and years. And in that time, he had the test of, going to prison, and I know there was more, but there was different things that happened to him, and he was not, you know, he was alone, and he was trusting in God. And so I just think that, yeah, surely some way, somehow God spoke to him and carried him through that, because it's just amazing, really, when you think about his walk and how he just stayed in faithfulness to God. He chose forgiveness instead of vengeance, and that eventually led to reconciliation with his family. And through this story, we can know that faithfulness in adversity leads to vindication. The very fact that you know, he said himself to his brothers, "You meant this for evil, but God used it for good." And so that by that we can know that God overrules human actions for a positive outcome. And so our God is great, and he will supply us with what we need for the journey that we have, right? Because he knows each one of us intimately. Like he knows us. He made us, right? Like that's not the right word, but he knows how we are, who we are, because he made us. And so he's going to supply us with the very things that we need for the journey that we have. And we can choose to be successful in it. If we choose to have God as our source, we can be successful in it. And that's what he chose. Every time he was tempted, every time things were not going well, he would choose the better way. He would choose God. And eventually he was successful. And he got to see his dad again. He got to see his brothers. And so I hope that that story encourages you, because sometimes it seems that there's no purpose in the life that we're living. But we can always be sure and always know that God has a purpose and a plan in the life that we're living. And if we look to him, he can lead us in the path that we're supposed to be in, so that we don't get sidetracked with, you know, things that are not for us. We need to use discernment and see what is for us. God, what do you have for me? And then we can walk in it. We can walk in it with confidence and with strength, because we know that God is telling us where to go and what to do. And so I hope that that encourages you. And I am going to plan on being back on here next Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. And I pray that you guys are encouraged, and I pray that your night is a night of rest, and that the rest of your week is amazing till next Wednesday, and that you have God moments that encourage you in your faith journey. And so keep going strong, keep on in God, with God, and you will succeed. All right, I will let you go. Bye, Facebook family.